We have a podcast called Deep Space and Dragons. Disclaimer, Deep Space and Dragons are not facts. If you think you're getting facts from this podcast, don't get facts from this podcast. Open a book. Read a newspaper. Don't use Grok. I think we might be more reputable than Grok, because we're not literally Mecha Hitler. But we're still not a reputable source. I am Richard, not a reputable source.
And I am Carl. I'm definitely a reputable source because I present Deep Space and Dragons.
So I think we just...
reputable than Grok.
So did we actually just do the... There's two guards here. One tells the truth. The other tells nothing but lies. And the correct answer is always ignore... The correct answer to that riddle is always ignore both of them, because they're obviously both lying. Just don't engage is the correct answer. Just throw nunchucks at one, and then move on with your life.
Oh, nunchucks. Where do you even get nunchucks from nowadays?
Temu.
Yeah, that's a good point. Probably could find nunchucks on Temu.
Value Village. For people who are used to think they were cool like us, and then turned to their 30s, and then donated their nunchucks like fools. How are you supposed to literally choke out your inner demons like Bruce Lee if you don't have nunchucks? That's just foolish behavior. I appreciate
I was going to check Temu for nunchucks, but they want me to complete a puzzle, and I don't feel like confirming that I'm a robot.
Oy. Someday the robot overlords will be hunting for the last surviving human because they just can't tell which squares have trucks. It's impossible.
It is impossible to tell which squares have trucks.
All right, so
do you have to have the whole truck, or is it like just like a portion of the truck? That's the part that gets me.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure it's more tracking your mouse activity to see if you're going in straight lines.
Yeah, that's probably true.
All right, so what's old with you?
What's old with me?
Yeah, I'm mixing it up.
See, eons ago, I decided that I would download the Inspector Gadget theme and crop off the dun 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 and use that as a ringtone.
Okay.
That's pretty old with me. Anyways, I don't know why. I just kind of got sick of it. It started to seem kind of obnoxious. So I was like thinking, what do I do for a new notification ringtone? And I think I don't know how many people are going to be able to recognize it just from what I cut off, but I think, and I'm going to use, or I am using now. This is what I did because it's fairly easy to download a free program called Audacity and put your URL for your YouTube video into YouTube to MP3 converter, and then you just chop off the section of the thing that you want to make a custom ringtone.
You absolute fool!
What?
So, I love you like a brother, right? Like, I need to open with. You gave our viewers the exact instructions they needed to turn how you make a custom ringtone in your voice into their ringtone. You are aware.
That would be pretty funny.
You are aware. You just gave them the exact tools and instructions they needed to take sound bites from our episode and turn them into ringtones with no idea of the consequences. You have said some things.
That would be great.
You'll just be like, "Hi, Karl Marx was always right," or whatever nonsense we put into this podcast. Like, oh no, it's literally going to be, "I'm Carl. Everything I say is true." Will just be the ringtone of your coworker at work tomorrow.
But no, I decided to use the first 4 notes of the Lavender Town theme for my ringtone.
Okay. I mean,
I haven't found anybody yet that's just like, is that the Lavender Town ringtone?
Clink, clank, clink, clank, clink, clank, clink, clink.
Exactly. But so far, I mean, it's a little bit more subtle than the Inspector Gadget one. So I like it for that, and then it just kind of genuinely amuses me. But then also, I'm really hoping that someone will be like, "What's going on here with this Lavender Town bullshit?"
I mean, to be fair, Dead Ratatas is what's happening.
And I mean, what else is new with me kind of ties in with our episode topic. So So we'll just move on for now. What's new with you there, Richard?
I'm trying to figure out how much depth I want to go into. So, on one hand, my semester's wrapping up. I have 3 large projects for the term, and I have 1 3/4 done. It was 2 done, but then I got some feedback, and I'm like, I need to rewrite this entire chapter. I can do better. So, I'm working on this right now, trying to figure out how my summer's going to go, looking at things like placement, grant funding, school stuff. Making my quip I always make on the last day of class of goodbye forever. 2 people I know I'll absolutely see again and orientate at. Well, the summer's weird, so everyone's still technically in school over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
But they get to choose between a placement, i.e. I go work free labor somewhere,
Right.
or writing a MERP, which is like a major research process. Not quite like a doctoral thesis, but like a baby thesis to warm you up to the idea of writing a doctoral thesis later in your life.
Okay.
So that means most of my classmates have 0 incentive to leave their homes over the summer and come to the school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be there all the time because I'm doing my placement at the school. I might be teaching people how to make some of those text-based parser games like I sent you a set demo of.
Mm-hmm.
And you would take that class. You know it'd be cool. You want to learn how to make it. You would love to learn how to make one of those.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like I'm kind of in the crunch time and I should be doing assignments, but also I'm me, so due to this insufferable smarm that I am, I'll probably be fine. Like,
Smarm.
I have an assignment worth 30% of my grade in digital publishing, right? If I get a 0 on that, I pass the class with a 70.
Huh.
So my anxiety is not particularly high.
Mm-hmm.
And then my creative fiction class, where I have to hand in 3 chapters, if I did literally nothing, I could just open the folder labeled novel scraps, pick 3 chapters of one, and hand it in if I really want it, if I was really pressed for time.
Are you sure you can even find the folder labeled novel scraps?
Yeah, it's right here, right next to a guest in the house and Edge Roundup. And code for IfQuest. My desktop is a nightmare, but it's my nightmare, okay?
Yeah, see, my desktop is incredibly clean, except for the clock that I had to download Windows Power Tools to make it sure that it would stay always on top.
Wow, these folders though, it's like I have Foldscape, followed by Visual Novel Maker, followed by SRPG Studio, followed by ComCult PhD package : the real one.
The real one.
Well, I don't want to hand in the fake one, that'd just be foolish.
That would be foolish.
And then, so, on Monday, a friend of mine's like, oh, I'm not feeling particularly good. So I make an offer of, if you want, I can swing by tomorrow and bring you soup. Which was intended as a sincere offer. The next day rolls around and I had forgotten that I was meeting up with a classmate to work on finishing up our grading for the semester. So I send them a message along the lines of, oh, sorry, can't make it for soup. And they're like, oh. I actually said yes. I never say yes when people are like, hey, do you want me to bring you something? I'm going to talk to my therapist about that. It just ragged me over the coals, right? Like, oh, I'm so betrayed by this that I'm going to have to talk to my therapist about it because I was beginning to believe in mankind again.
Wow.
So I'm being mocked all week for soup. Which, to be fair, I offered something and then proceeded to cancel within like 5 minutes, realizing I had other plans, making it look like they had said, yes, that offer sounds good, and I replied with, oh, actually, I can't. So it looked like an incredibly disingenuous offer. It wasn't, but it looked like one, thus the humor of it. So,
this is pretty funny.
Last night after class, I'm like, I'm making this goddamn soup. So, as I'm at their house with 4 stock pots going, as I have the beets, the beef, and I'm just making like the most elaborate borscht known to man. And at this point, it was less about caring about friendship and more that I was like daydreaming about making this soup all week.
Okay.
The best ending to the story possible is just to make the single most elaborate, highest quality soup I possibly can. So, my friend's just chilling, leaving cards, and it's like, did you just whine to glaze that pan? I'm like, I'm making soup. I said I am making you soup, and I am making soup to the best of my ability. So I'm literally deglazing a pan. And I have like 7, I literally had all 4 elements on as I'm just like, I'm making this soup, damn it. It is going to be delicious and you will have soup for the next 2 weeks. At this point, they'd like fully recovered from their cold. Which was also part of the joke. It's like, now that you've fully recovered, I have made you soup to feel better. And it just... I don't know why I enjoyed that bit so much. For context, I ended up paying for the ingredients for their own Get Well soup. But I assembled it.
Oh, the life of a professional student.
So I don't think I actually did anything particularly morally upstanding, but it was good soup, and that was really the point.
That was truly the point, was to make sure that they knew you made them good soup.
No, the point was to make the soup. They became irrelevant, and I became irrelevant. It was about the soup, Carl.
Okay.
It was a worship to some absurd soup god we've never heard of before in tribute. It's like when, like, it was in Rurouni Kenshin where they're like, oh yeah, the sword I gave you was the crappy one because you keep the real one for the gods, but since your crappy one broke, I'll give you the real one. Like, that was the level of craftsmanship that had to go in this soup. Like, this was a divine offering. It's like, you can eat the scraps. The soup is an offering from the gods. And here's the final part, though. I'm pretty sure it was the third best soup I've made. I tried real hard, but you don't always hit peak.
The third best soup you've made?
Which is pretty good.
I mean, I didn't realize that you graded your soups like that, but I guess you really do worship the soup god.
Soup is to be respected. Soup is to be treated with the respect it deserves, Carl. Although, for the record, it would have been equally funny for me to show up with a can of tomato soup, put it in a bowl, microwave it, and hand them that. That also would have been a truly amazing bit. It would have been less fun, but it would have been a good bit.
So what is the name of the soup god?
I haven't decided yet. He'll make, or she, or they, will make themselves known to me when my soup is good enough.
Oh, wow. You've put your heart and soul into at least 3 different bowls of soup, and they don't even tell you their name yet.
Yeah, I haven't got there yet. Also, I feel like this is weirdly close to the plot of Bartender, the manga.
Yeah, okay.
He was like, I'm looking for a drink that can save a man's soul, that can make a depressed man no longer commit suicide because this cocktail is so good. And I'm like, you just chopped up a swan statue for higher density ice. You're like, yeah, this is mid.
That's funny.
Alright.
But
So,
it's not the plot of the anime?
the anime and the manga followed roughly the same plots, I think.
Okay.
I think I also tried the anime twice, but I don't recall.
Okay, but so then this is not the same as Glass of God.
No, that's a new anime that's about wine that's very obviously inspired by Bartender.
Okay.
And also, I think, has that same basic premise. Which, to be fair, I really like this cocktail manga about making the best cocktail ever. I'm gonna do one about wine. Feels like a weirdly reasonable promo. Like, okay, yeah, I see how you got from there to there here. It's been a long road getting from there to here, but I see it.
Anyways, I guess we should move on to our actual topic.
I guess.
Which is...
I'm surprised they didn't just shove an unrelated movie review in, because I was fully prepared to pivot the episode into whatever shenanigans. You're like, no, short, concise stories. Yes, I got suits in, but those don't make my story.
Well, I haven't tailored the suits yet. First, and secondly, suits don't tell a good story.
First off, disagree. Ever heard of the hit TV show Suits? And second, I have this headcanon of you personally tailoring the suits, which is really funny. Like, you just have like 3 pins in your mouth, and you're just like, Richard's probably this fat now.
That's pretty funny.
I have put on winter weight and summer weight. Although, to be fair, Fat Richard just feels healthier than Skinny Richard ever did. Skinny Richard felt like he was going to die from the gentlest breeze, and was sick all the time. Fat Richard's like, I should probably not eat the entire bag of chips, but other than that, feeling fine.
Mm-hmm. That does sound like a pretty good character arc.
Smooth. Alright, so people like to hype the best character arc of all time as Zuko's redemption. I think it's a basic bitch character arc, but it makes a really good textbook example.
Zuko's redemption, eh?
Because we start with obviously evil character, slowly going that, oh, they're misunderstood, slowly going, oh, they're just a victim of domestic abuse. They tried too good. The thing that makes Zuko's arc interesting is he fucks up being a good guy repeatedly and doesn't just Green Power Ranger heel turn. Like, there's literally a bit where he did a good deed and it made him sick for a day. And then he's like, hey, you could be a good guy, or you could get everything you ever wanted. He's like, you know, I do kind of enjoy being literal royalty, getting everything I want. I'm really not that invested in saving the bald kid that's hit me in the face with a mattress. You know what? Fuck it. And then he gets home, he's like, you know, maybe I did something wrong hiring an assassin to murder this child. Like, you can totally read Zuko's redemption as so self-serving, too, because he makes so many strategic moves that result in him just being the king. Like, if they didn't show us his point of view of what he was thinking throughout the process, he'd be like, actually, he did just successfully coup d'etat and take over the Fire Nation. Like, he did just successfully do that outright.
Huh. That's a good point.
He threw his dad in jail. His sister was made successor over him, and she also got thrown in jail. And he conquered the nation. Just outright. So he got his vengeance. He took his dad burned him, and his vengeance was his dad forever lost the power to burn anybody.
Huh. I mean, a significant portion of the show, from his point of view, is him trying to regain his honor with his dad, but it does result in him taking away his dad's firebending powers.
Indirectly, but
succeeding him.
But yeah, to like talk about like the types of character arcs before I throw the mic to you, because I'm sure you're going somewhere with this.
Okay, yeah.
Is there's 7 main character arcs that are common in fiction.
Okay.
The first is the positive change arc. You start with ignorance, you understand that ignorance, and it turns a weakness of yours into strength. I.e., the plot of Show and Jump.
Right.
Like, that's when you get your Osamu realizes he's not a badass fighter, so he learns strategy. Or Goku learns nothing. But Vegeta learns that it's okay to be second best.
Yeah, okay.
We have the second option, the negative change arc, the Breaking Bad. You become a worse person over the course of your story. Macbeth being an example of that one. I argue Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader are separate characters with separate character arcs.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, like positive change, you're like, oh, any given superhero movie.
Yeah.
You have the flat arc. The character doesn't fundamentally change. Instead, they act as an agent for other characters' arcs.
Okay.
So your Captain America's not learning a lesson.
Right.
Your Sherlock Holmes, weirdly enough, just causes other people to reevaluate their lives. Goku is actually a really good example of the flat arc character that makes characters around them arc.
Yeah, alright.
The disillusionment arc, which is every show an anime villain ever, where they want it to be an idealism, and then they become a realist instead. And unlike the following one, that usually does a bell curve, where it's like, I start being idealistic, I become evil, and then I return to being idealistic at the end.
Yeah, alright.
Then there's the coming of age arc, which is about earning your dependence, clearing up your curiosity, your Harry Potters, your every YA book ever written. And then lastly, we have the redemption arc.
The redemption arc.
And you can put many, many more of those. I just figured I'd give us some language.
Right. Well, see, what was actually new with me is that I went and watched the Mario Galaxy movie. And personally, I thought it was better than the first one.
I mean...
And
Star Fox was in it, which means soon there will be Kirby. And then we'll get the Super Smash Bros. Cinematic Universe, and then all of the merch, Carl.
All of the merch.
The idea that people would want a Smash Bros. Movie is truly absurd, but that's not the point.
So, I mean, my review of the first Mario movie was that if you're a fan of Nintendo, it has a lot for you. Because, it's bright, colorful, fun, filled with Easter eggs and references.
All of the member berries.
The score is amazing, but the writing is subpar. And I couldn't really put my finger on why I thought the writing was subpar.
Because it was! It might as well have been written by Claude AI. It was not good.
No, I mean, I know it is not good, but how do you quantify what makes it not good?
Oh, I can tell you what makes it not good. This is an easy one for this movie.
Okay.
Universal appeal focus group testing. So you start with something with artistic vision that takes a stance. I'm going to go into academic writing. In academic writing, you need to write a good essay, you need a thesis statement which provides an answer to a question. A good thesis statement, even if incorrect, will take a strong stance. So, let's go with the Mario Galaxy movie if you're writing an essay on it, and you made a thesis statement. It was good because I liked it, and it was bright and colorful and dumb. That's not really nothing, right? Now, if you went, it was good because Jack Black's overcoming of toxic masculinity to be a good father was compelling, then you've made a thesis statement. But when you take a focus group and ask people, what did you think enough times, you won't take a stance anymore because that will appeal to less players. So you want to make a movie that has nothing to say, because if you say something, you alienate half of people.
Well, okay, so part of the reason I actually wanted to talk about character arcs is because after watching Mario Galaxy, rewatched the first one to see if it was as I remembered it, and honestly, it was worse.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think about what is it that I don't like about it, and I guess it is a character arc. This was actually going to be my question about whether or not it's a character arc when the character doesn't learn anything. But in the first Mario movie, Mario, he never gives up, and that's like his defining characteristic. And everyone doesn't believe in him, and he just keeps not giving up. And he doesn't actually learn anything; he just keeps doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And part of what really bugged me about rewatching it in particular is it felt like they were setting up character arcs, like. He had this disapproving family in the first portion. And I'm not exactly sure what the character arc, maybe he's supposed to show his dad that his dad should learn how to be more approving, but he doesn't really spend enough emotional investment in the family portion before he just goes on to the adventure portion. And so it's like, there was no character arc there. It's kind of like we got to the end of the movie and there's supposed to be this big emotional impact. Like even with Luigi at the end of the first Mario movie, he, I guess he overcomes his fear and jumps in the way of Bowser's fire with the manhole cover to block it so Mario doesn't get toasted. That's the closest thing to a character arc in the movie. No characters have a dynamic character arc. They're all just flat characters.
Well, yeah, because they're characters that have pre-established personalities that can't change.
But it really, really bugged me that it felt like they were trying to set up character arcs and trying to set up this emotional development, and then it just went nowhere.
Well, yeah, I was saying is, you can have a flat-arced character provided they trigger change in things, but Mario movie was random bullshit. So you have active protagonists who make choices that result in ramifications, which gives you and then storytelling. Mario does X. Therefore, Y happens is good written. But in this movie, Mario does X, and then Y happens, independent of what Mario does. So, he goes to fix a sewer main, gets teleported to a magical kingdom, and is just the chosen one because reasons. And then doesn't finish his obstacle course, then saves his brother, I guess, then gets a power star because reasons. And, it It wasn't even the annoying anime trope of you're the chosen one because of special DNA or something. They're just, I guess, everyone else. It's like Mario was a hero because everyone else was objectively terrible. Like, it was by virtue of being an average dude in a world of toads, I guess, makes you exceptional. But, like, he never did anything particularly, like, intelligent or strong. Like, he didn't do anything.
Yeah, so
he had as much agency as Bella Swan in Twilight.
Well, I mean, I do think he was very clearly the main character.
You could be the main character and worthless.
I think it's actually pretty funny. I was thinking about this. It's super easy just to write Princess Peach out of that movie because she literally just accomplishes and does nothing.
It's funny because they set her up to like be a girl boss archetype and then didn't.
Like, she is super badass, and she could easily have been like a dual antagonist because for whatever reason they just felt like sidelining Luigi completely.
It's
But anyways, so then I watched the second one, Mario Galaxy.
Yeah. And
I don't know that the writing was actually that much better because all of the characters still have incredibly flat arcs. Nobody actually changes over the course of the movie.
Well, you can't have them change because they sell action figures with pre-recorded voice lines.
Yeah, well, except for Bowser. Bowser has the fallen character arc because he starts out redeemed and then goes back to being a villain, which was actually like pretty funny to me.
I mean, he's objectively a better dad than Goku.
Well, so there was a little bit of that them trying to set up character arc because it felt like Mario in Mario Galaxy was going to learn that nobody's beyond redemption until Bowser was in fact beyond redemption.
So here's the biggest issue with the Mario Galaxy movie, and this is going to be the spiciest of hot takes. Mario Galaxy should have been the third movie. So the first movie...
Yeah, it should have done something in the middle.
Yeah, it should have been Mario Sunshine in the middle. Because it would have been... Because Mario Sunshine is about Bowser Jr.
Right.
So it's Mario and Princess Peach go on vacation after saving the world, and then Bowser Jr. gets introduced. And you could use, like, that framing to, like, flesh out these characters a bit more. And then put off Bowser till the third movie coming back. Like, there's a lot you could have done with that.
Right.
Also, it's bad. It could just be a bad movie. But I will say this about flat art characters. So a lot of big name IP characters are doomed to be flat art characters.
Right.
But let's take the first 12 episodes of One Punch Man. Let's assume it ended where it narratively should have. Saitama was a flat arc character.
Right.
This character already holds the truth and applies it to the world. Genos went through a character arc of being an edgy loner is wrong, and believing in his limits is wrong, and the correct answer is just to save people and not think about it. Basically, Genos' arc is you need to stop overthinking everything and do something.
Right.
So that way, Saitama's arc of doing nothing causes the world around him to change, because here's a guy who's just being a hero for the fun of it, and your edgy background story nonsense is worthless in comparison to his clear value. So you can flat arc a character well. Like, Ryonin Kenshin, for example, I don't think Kenshin learns anything. In the story proper. He goes through his character arc off screen. And in the one flashback arc.
Because he goes from being a badass murderer to being someone who uses his sword to protect.
So he has his positive character his redemption arc off screen. Because Kenshin, at the start of Ryonin Kenshin, is already redeemed for all intents and purposes.
Right.
Like, no one looks at this guy and be like, oh man, but he killed his wife once, kind of, sort of, not really. He needs to, like, learn a lesson. But Kenshin's...
Lots of the villains in the throughout the show try to turn him back to being evil, but yeah, he is pretty much just redeemed for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. So then the actual characters going through character arcs are his wife and his adopted child. Like, those are the characters who are actually learning things in this course of the story.
Right.
Where you could, like, make a very strong argument that your hero was actually the protagonist of Ryonin Kenshin. So, like, the flat arc can work, but you can't give all 5 of your characters a flat arc. Also, weird piece of internet lore that'll probably mean nothing to you, but I found amusing.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Mario fanfic community, because fanfic comes up surprisingly often in my literature class,
Okay.
were outraged that the movie said that Princess Rosalita and Princess Peach were related because they've been shipping them as a couple for the last 20 years or so.
That's hilarious. Okay, but so I do have one more. Have you actually seen the Mario Galaxy movie?
I've seen enough.
I've seen enough. Okay. So I can't tell whether or not it's genius or stupid.
It's stupid.
But no. So the first Mario movie, Mario is very clearly the main character. His actions and choices drive the story.
Yep.
He's a flat character, but he's very clearly the main character. In Mario Galaxy, instead of being able to write Princess Peach out of the movie, you could actually just write Mario out of the movie. And Princess Peach is the main character. Her actions and choices very clearly move the story.
That's actually a better narrative choice the whole time.
Well, exactly. But really driving that point home, Princess Peach answers the call to adventure and goes off to the galaxy to find her sister. Spoiler alert. Anyways, and she leaves a note for Mario that says, "I've gone off on this adventure. Take care of the kingdom for me." And I expected them to be like, "Okay, no, other Toad, you're in charge because you're Elder Toad or whatever. We're gonna go rescue the princess, bring her back so she can do her job, or whatever." But they ignored the call to adventure, and it's like it really, really subverted my expectations. I just can't. It amused me. It greatly amused me that they subverted my expectations so completely in that moment.
Well, what's funny is that, like, when you think about it, yeah, Mario is the least interesting character in Mario.
Mm.
Like, Luigi, you could easily give a character arc to, because he starts in a place and has room to go. Where Mario's largely static. And Princess Peach was such a nothing burger for 40 years of writing, you could insert whatever you want into her personality. Like, no one is mad about Girl Boss Peach because Peach had nothing.
Right.
Plus, she was playable early enough in the franchise where it's like, it's out of character. It's like, did you play Mario 2? Where she was just one of the playable characters and threw stuff at things? It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
But, like, it's kind of weird, though. It's like a catch-22 that because the Mario franchise was so empty, there's a lot you could actually do with it if you wanted to. But Nintendo are so risk-averse that they put out a crappy version of Pokemon Showdown with freemium mechanics that is just worse than Pokemon Showdown. And are getting review bombed because they couldn't be bothered. They announced this thing as, this works with Pokemon Home, so you can play with all of your Pokemon in competitive. And then it only launched with 120 Pokemon being usable in it.
Wait, it didn't even launch with all 151?
No. Just a collection of random Pokemon.
Oh, okay. That's pretty weird.
It's bad. They wanted that Pokemon Showdown money and couldn't be bothered to be as good as a free Flash game.
That's sad. But okay, I mean, I guess I get what you're saying about them being risk averse and it negatively affecting the writing quality.
No, just negatively
Mario
affecting
Galaxy.
Nintendo as a whole. They're absurdly risk averse lately. They used to be creative, and they're like, okay. They literally put out the Switch 2, and they're like, you know what we'll put out with the Switch 2? A worse version of every Switch 1 Mario title. Like, absurdly risk averse. They're like, hey, remember how you liked this? So we did that.
That's true. They didn't even bother really upgrading any of the Mario titles that they re-released.
Not just that, they didn't have a flagship new thing with their new console. They're just like, now we're good.
Mario Kart World, but
no. To call Mario Kart World not a safe bet is insane to me. because it was just Mario Kart.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, they were so unconfident in making it open world Mario Kart that they made the open world Mario Kart thing hidden in the menu and semi-optional. They had so little confidence they could be like, oh no, we're going to make this cool open world Mario Kart. Like, actually, we're just going to have it do 4 tracks with some driving between the tracks. That should do it. Like, literally, and I shit you not, Diddy Kong Racing's open world hub between the tracks had more content in it. You could run over a frog that looked like a rooster to unlock a rooster character. There's treasures and secrets. There's hidden levels. Like, Diddy Kong Racing on the Nintendo 64's open world was more interesting.
That's pretty wild. But
yeah.
I just, like I say, I find it really funny that the Mario Galaxy movie, Mario is so clearly not the main character.
Fair.
Because, like, Peach answers the call to adventure, interrogates villains for information, hires a space pilot, breaks into a fortress, and rescues the princess.
Also, Yoshi was just there.
But Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi weren't at all required for that plot. That's the actual plot of the movie, for Princess Peach to do those things. Like,
so, has it clicked into you yet that that was the exact plot of Star Wars: A New Hope?
So risk averse that they would rather just remake Star Wars than throw in some Mario Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Oh, it even has the Death Star with the boomstick cannon. Wow.
Yeah, they just made Star Wars. They even called it Galaxy.
Well, I mean, that's because Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are 2 of the most popular Mario games of all time.
Yeah, but they didn't do the plots of Mario 1 and 2, they did Star Wars.
That is true.
Because the plot of Mario 1 and 2 is Bowser takes a superstar, is conquering the universe, and you have to go out to stop him. Which is not a great movie plot, but so was the idea of making a Mario movie in the first place, and then putting fucking Chris Pratt in a voice acting role instead of getting an actual voice actor. He just does Chris Pratt! I'm not insane for noticing this. I hate it.
Okay. But, in any event, I'm gonna say, if you like Nintendo, Mario Galaxy is actually, not terrible. Like, again, it's visually impressive. Tons of Easter eggs and references, and the musical score is absolutely on point. Like, just fantastic. But the writing is mediocre at best. So don't go and watch it if you're expecting a deep, thought-provoking movie.
So to actually get into our topic, though, because it was largely turned into a mini Mario movie review, which makes perfect sense.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was also like my main question, which you answered when you defined all the different character types, was whether or not it is a character arc if the character doesn't learn anything. Because in both cases, Mario 1 and 2, they all the characters are flat.
Oh yeah, like looking at like flat art characters like your Saitamas, your Gokus, your Jackie Chan in every movie he's in. But like to have a good flat arc character, you need other characters to arc around them. Like Gohan. Gohan went through a full coming of age story.
That's true. Although his character arc settled on nerdy professor that has to relearn to protect people?
No, his character arc ended with the Cell games and Dragon Ball Z ended and it was great.
Yeah, right. Everything else is just optional.
Like, Boo Saga feels like such a sequel series.
That is true.
Although even his character arc in the Boo Saga wasn't, like, Gohan's character arc in the Boo Saga wasn't too bad. Because it was like, okay, I'm a pacifist, and I've lived my peaceful life, but now I have to go back for one last job. Isn't the worst arc. Would you say John Wick went through a character arc? Did he learn anything?
Oh, no. John Wick is a very flat character as well. Well, no, okay, I guess I'm not sure. Now that I think about it, because like he got out of the assassin world and then rejoined because Someone killed his dog.
I would say his is either flat or I know because we all are all on his side. This is a weird one, but I think he does the Walter White negative change arc. He literally goes from a tax-paying bookbinding citizen on a mass murder rampage of vengeance until he kills everybody. Just because he's cool doesn't mean he didn't have the same character arc as Light Yagami.
Yeah, that's fair. I would definitely say he had a negative change.
It's just funny because he's the protagonist.
Yeah.
But like he slapped a horse to have it kick a man in the face, and we're like, yeah, that's awesome. And I'm like, most of these people did not need to die, to be honest. Like every person he killed mean he had to kill 2 more people.
Okay, but so kind of a follow-up question, because like John Wick has become a fairly reasonably long franchise with 5 movies. 5 movies, or is there only 4?
4.
I didn't watch the last one.
I think there's 4.
And they're planning a 5th one?
I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe the story's done. I kind of lost interest after John Wick 2, personally.
Well, John Wick 1 was an amazing movie. And much like the Z Saga, could have just ended. That was good.
Well, so the longer running a franchise gets, the flatter the character arcs get.
Unless you're awesome.
Like, okay,
I'm gonna talk about One Piece.
Okay.
So One Piece has hit a truly lengthy runtime. One Piece is a premium example of how to do most. They're not flat character arcs. They're just such a narrow curve. But also, they interact as flat arcs should. Luffy rolls up, who's basically a constant, and through his actions, it inspires other people to go through their character arcs. Like literally every season of One Piece is him triggering someone to go through a character arc. But I do think each of the main characters in One Piece are very slowly arcing. Luffy's acting more intelligently and responsibly. I know it's almost impossible to tell because the curve is barely moving a pixel. But he is.
Right.
He is becoming more intelligent and competent over the course of the show. He's still fun and has his smile and joy, but like he is changing.
Right.
Sanji should be becoming less sexist, but I don't know. Usopp is becoming braver. Nami's becoming less greedy. Like everyone's like major character flaws are slowly shifting to strengths over the runtime of the show. It's just so minute, and really, it was only really evident when they did some time skips where they're going with it. But like, I would say every main character's on just the world's slowest growth arc.
Except for Sanji, he's still just as sexist.
Sanji could be fixed. Problem with Sanji is he's really cool if he wasn't a creep. But if you do something long-running like My Hero Academia, for example, where Deku's core plot arc was trying to find the self-confidence required to rely on his friends. So it's like, the very start, he's like, you can't be a hero without a superpower. And then he was like, I'm going to become the greatest hero. But it slowly shifts to, we're all going to become heroes, and it's really more about everyone doing what they can. So over the 300 chapter runtime, he actually learned his lesson somewhat. Because it like ends with him being like, oh, I'm going to be a teacher and teach the next generation of heroes, because that's the most heroic thing I can do.
Well, so, I mean, to kind of completely shift genre gears, CSI, the original CSI, I don't remember which season it kind of flattens out, but like the first season of the CSI, one character has a gambling addiction, one character is in the middle of a messy divorce. Season 2, the main leader of Grissom, he has to grapple with the hearing loss problem and whether or not he should get surgery or to just retire. And so, like, all of these characters actually have arcs. And then I think it's by the end of the 3rd season, all of the arcs are done. and we're just on to villain of the week, flat art characters. Everyone's just a caricature rather than someone who actually grows and changes over the course of the series.
Oh yeah, it's absurdly hard to maintain a constantly going character arc forever. Because you can't. Like, yeah, people are constantly evolving, but you have to, like we're talking about with the Zuko, where a character, like, backsliding is actually part of a good, well-written arc. But, like, then you end up with a situation like House, where it's like, he should just be in jail. He has simply committed too many crimes. And they're like, alright, I guess we'll actually put him in jail then. And then they actually put him in jail because he simply committed too many crimes.
That's so true.
So it's like, House does not really get... House probably comes closer to the Walter White Breaking Bad villain arc than he comes to a positive growth arc. I'm not sure he ever learns anything.
No, I don't think he does.
But, like, I think you can pretty much say, like, I like to say most shows should end at 6 seasons at the longest, is once your character arcs are done, your show quality will drop. That's why Dragon Ball Super is just simply not as good. Everyone's arc is done.
The characters have actually done their thing. And turning someone evil so that they can be redeemed again isn't really a fun character arc to watch over and over again.
Right? Like, so Dragon Ball Super's most compelling character arcs are Beerus going through his, like, hero arc slowly. Beerus learning to care about the food providers, not just the food. Frieza being an unrepentant dick.
Right.
And they were trying to set it up for Goku to finally take accountability for his actions and grow as a person, and it just didn't. I feel like this whole thing where it's like, Goku put the entire universe at risk because of your selfishness. And, like, he wasn't like, yeah, he gives this cool monologue of, I never said I was a hero. I'm just a selfish prick. And I'm like, that could be interesting, but you then, like, went like, oh, actually, the universe wasn't going to end and none of the stakes were real, and you're actually a good dude. I'm like, no! Let Goku go through full villain. Let Goku just be the problem, acknowledge it, and kind of low-key be evil. That'd be great. And then Ichigo doesn't learn shit.
You don't think Ichigo learns anything?
No! The problem is, if you're gonna have a character arc or not arc, you gotta commit to one or the other. So Ichigo looked like he was going to go through a hero's journey, coming of age story, learning, moving from independence to dependence, going into the adult world, relying on people. But Ichigo didn't learn shit. The character at the end of Bleach is the exact same character as the start of Bleach. He didn't learn a goddamn thing. There is not one action he would do differently, having went through the events of Bleach, that he wouldn't have done the same at the start. First scene of Ichigo is like episode 2 is, I'm gonna call these ambulances, but not for me, and beat the shit out of these guys to learn them a lesson. And then he comes back to Yuha Box Troops and does exactly the same scene. Where he just beats the shit out of 4 dudes again, calls an ambulance, but not for him, and then goes off to fight the main villain.
I mean, he does have a little bit of an arc, because at the beginning, he's like, no, I don't want to be a hero. But by the end, he's like, okay, I guess I should be a hero because I need to protect people.
Except, the I don't want to be a hero was a lie. It wasn't even I don't want to be a hero. It was I don't want to be part of your corporate bullshit.
Yeah, okay.
Because he had no problem being a Soul Reaper. Rukia's like, if you're a Soul Reaper, you need to be a Soul Reaper for everyone. He's like, fuck that shit. I didn't sign no contract. I'm gonna help people when I goddamn feel like it, and you can fuck right off.
Yeah, okay.
What's funny, though, is as a flat character, in early Bleach, before the roster got too bloated, it kind of worked. Because Captain I'm Better Than You gives a really beautiful speech about how, no, this guy was never my enemy. It was the system that was an enemy, and I had to follow the rules, because if I didn't, no one would follow the rules, so I needed to execute my sister. And then this guy came along, he's like, fuck your rules are stupid. And he's like, you know, thank you for beating the shit out of me. You're right, I was so focused on following the rules, I forgot that my rules are stupid. He's like, yeah. And then he walked away. Like, Captain Kuchiki and Rukia both had great character arcs. Rukia had a whole ass depression arc about how she failed her captain and wanted to die gloriously in battle, and then Ichigo would be like, yo, asshole, you're not allowed to just die. That's not how this works. It's like, but I could die and atone for everyone. He's like, fuck that shit, you need to live. So, like, Rukia went
Right.
through a full depression coming out of it changed person arc.
Mm.
But yeah, Ichigo didn't learn shit.
Okay, but so then, if you start with a flat character, you know, have been going for several seasons, and then you introduce a character arc, is there a way to do that gracefully? Like,
Oh,
the
absolutely
thing in
you
my mind
can.
is the thing in my mind is Mission Impossible, where the characters are relatively flat and static, but then in the last two movies, suddenly Ethan Hunt has like a lover that died or whatever, and the main villain is like the murderer of the lover or something. I don't even know. Like, it's just I watched all of the Mission Impossible movies, and suddenly this what felt like it was supposed to be an emotional character arc uh, came out of nowhere, and it felt poorly executed to me.
So, I was kind of alluding to this with my Darth Vader Anakin Skywalker comment earlier. Character arcs are typically designed to be written over a book or over a trilogy. That's typically how you structure something, right? So something,
Right.
and then later you're like, okay, I'm going to up the stakes and put in a character arc. That's not really the same character that's going through that arc in a weird way. Like, Daniel Craig's James Bond deciding to not have a character arc till the last movie. Sure, let's have James Bond learn some things, but James Bond fundamentally is the most static character to ever static.
Yeah, okay.
Like, if we need an example of static characters, we'd have Ethan Hunt and James Bond.
Right, and then when you get to the end of the series and they try to make the character learn something, and it's like, why? That's not what I'm here to see.
Yes and no, though. I do think you can do it well if you're dedicated to telling your story within the frame of a movie. So it's when it starts to bleed, it gets weird, right? So let's take, like, anime is such a good example for this. We're watching Inuyasha, and Shishomaru feels like a flat character at the start. And then about, I don't know, 40 chapters in, he, on a whim, decides to rescue a girl to see how his magic sword works. And then we get Shishomaru going through, I would say, almost a cliche redemption arc. Like, it literally ends with, congratulations, you're redeemed, enjoy your new sword.
Right, okay.
But I'd say that one worked really well because they just like, you know what, let's just give this character we haven't really given any emotional weight. Let's give him the why today moment later in the series. Because you know how every story starts with why today? You don't have to start every character with their moment of change hitting them. You can hit it later. It's not a good idea to do that with your main character. Like,
yeah, okay.
Full Metal Alchemist is just a positive change arc. Arguably a redemption arc. You could make a strong case that Edward Elric's character arc is closer to Zuko's than it is to Aang's. Because Aang's is a classic coming of age, I need to stop avoiding responsibility and be the hero.
Right.
Edward Elric's is the, I fucked up so unbelievably bad that I'm going to have to spend the rest of my life trying to make this right. But also, like, he goes through both, though, because, like, he also goes through the positive change of, you know, I was never actually important. I was just I was just a dude who couldn't save a little girl. Literally, I have to just let other people do stuff. So, Edward goes through amazing, complex, beautifully written character arcs, and then it wins a bunch of awards. And then...
Right, but the series did end with the end of his arc, basically.
Oh, yeah, like, that's what makes it art. Now, Frierin's character arc is fascinating. Because it is the world's slowest positive change arc. Because her why today was literally, oh shit, I didn't give a fuck about this person I loved. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute. Oh no, I done fucked up. I could have spent 50 years with this person and I simply didn't. Because ADHD happened. And now they're dead. And I actually care this time, and I wasn't expecting to actually care this time. So, like,
I,
Frieren isn't even a complex character arc. It's literally just the basic positive change arc in, like, its most Jesus of Nazareth basic positive change arc. Like,
but so, aside from Shishomaru, though, can you think of any other examples where there was a long-running flat character arc that suddenly had an actual arc?
for long running ones, it works best when you do it to random side characters.
Right.
Because,
Yeah,
like,
that
if we
makes
go through,
sense.
like, the show and jump big ones, for example, in
Hmm.
Bleach, the side characters sometimes would get arcs, but usually they were, like, the arcs would usually be in hindsight, or Ichigo would change them over the course of it.
Right.
Like, I don't think Kampachi learned anything, but we do get, like, oh, he murdered his best friend because of his love of murder, and I guess he has to take murdering seriously. Nah, I don't know where you're going with this. And then Uru's like, I was a spy all along, and we're like, we know. No one for a second thought you betrayed us. Like, no. Even the characters weren't buying it.
Right. Right.
So, like, as I was saying, like, Rukia and Captain I'm Better Than You get a bit of arcs. I don't think Isaac gets a plot arc. But, like, we go to something like Dragon Ball. Piccolo went from
Mhm.
static to interesting at the start of Z. Like, no one's ever done before.
Hmm.
Demon King
Yeah,
Piccolo was the
I suppose
most
so.
one-note character to ever exist.
I
I'm going to
suppose so.
release all the world's prisoners because it's funny.
I don't know that Demon King. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say that Demon King Piccolo was a long-running static character.
But he
Like
was extremely static.
he was extremely static, but he was the protagonist or the antagonist for a single season, basically.
Yeah, and then Piccolo Jr. comes in as a more interesting character arc, where it's like, all right,
Right.
where are we going with this?
Mm.
And then we get the Piccolo Gohan arc, and it's like, no, they turned Piccolo. Like, Piccolo easily could have been another Tien. Tien was a worthless static character who learned nothing and did nothing.
I mean, he kind of the anime makes Tien seem way more of a villain than he was in the manga, because like Tien just literally goes around murdering people for no reason. I
I'm
mean,
just
yeah,
saying,
he breaks
he's
Yamcha's leg, but
as flat of a character as Mario. Like, Tien's redemption arc happens in his little plot arc of, actually, the martial arts guy you listen to is bad, and you should be a good guy. Okay, and then it's done forever. There's nothing there.
I mean that's true. It is a pretty on-off switch.
Like most Dragon Ball Z characters. You're bad, be good instead. Okay, arc over.
Not very many villains have that Zuko. Like I think that's what makes Zuko one of the shining examples of how to do a redemption arc, because he has those backslide moments, and because a lot of his actions still end up being self-serving. Um, as compared to, like I said, Dragon Ball Z is, or Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are like the epitome of um, was a villain, turn a switch, now they're a good guy.
But I will say,
Like
the
they just
reason Piccolo to me is the most compelling DBZ character by a ton for their arc is he does
hmm.
a reverse backslide. So,
Oh.
Piccolo is like, oh, I guess I'm a good guy now. I'll be a begrudging good guy. But then he
Mm.
actually tells off Goku for being a shit dad. Like, you get to the Cell games, he's like, the fuck are you doing? Do you not know how to parent? And, like, the idea that your
Mm.
villain got so emotionally invested in your protagonist that he's telling the other protagonist you need to be better at being a protagonist, the fuck's wrong with you? Right? Like, that's rare. Like, every other Dragon Ball Z character's like, I guess I'm a good guy now begrudgingly, even Vegeta. But then Piccolo's like,
Mm.
do you even know your son? Like, what are you doing here?
Mm.
So it's like Piccolo switches, like, his personality doesn't change. He just changes his target to being, instead of I hate humanity, I'm like, be better at being humanity. God damn it. If I have to be a good guy, you guys need to get your shit together.
Right.
So Piccolo was great, is all I'm saying. But he was also not a particularly flat character to begin with by Dragon Ball Z standards.
Mm. Well, and I mean, like he does kind of have like his Demon King Piccolo is the antagonist of one arc. Piccolo Jr. is the antagonist of the next arc, and then the next arc, he's kind of making his redemption, but he's really just kidnapping Goku's kids and like
Straight up abuse
Gohan.
him.
Gohan triggers Piccolo's arc more than Goku does.
I think Piccolo triggers Piccolo's arc weirdly though, because like it's not just Gohan. He's like, I need to conquer the world because it's mine. But like you see like moments where he's like, I don't know. Piccolo's arc's interesting, is all I'm saying.
It definitely does have ups and downs for sure.
It's less linear of a curve. But then we get to JJK where no one learned anything ever at any point. Not one character acts differently after the story than they would have before the start of the story. Except maybe Yuji gets angsty.
Well, yeah, I don't.
But he even ends befriending Sukuna, so. Kinda.
No, I mean, probably one of the best character arcs in modern anime was Kaiju number 8.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. It's like such a good coming-of-age story that starts at 30.
It is, and like he also inspires other people to change as well and grow and adapt and overcome grief, and like it's
such a good treatise of never giving up on your dreams. And just like trying your best, like so good. I hope he inspired an entire generation to go into like firefighting school and stuff.
Another really, I love Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Yes, absolutely. This is the good one.
Because it's just like Puss in Boots himself. He wants to find the wish so that he can get more lives back and go back to being his selfish self. But then obviously he learns that he needs to value the life that he has and the friendships that he's formed. But then, they also have Goldilocks. I mean, she kind of learns the same lesson where she wants to wish for a new family, and then she learns that the bears are her family. And there's even the heart-wrenching moment where Mama Bear says, "Oh, you didn't think we're your real family? Well, if you want this wish to wish for a new family, I guess I'll put my own pride aside and help you to fulfill your wish." And it's like, and it's like they're both kind of learning the same lesson, but they take different pathways to do that lesson. But then Jack Horner is just allowed to be an irredeemable villain. I mean, he is a flat character. He doesn't exactly inspire the other people to change, but he helps move the story forward and helps those people change through his staticness.
Oh yeah, like it's easy to say that one is especially in the genre compared to Mario directly of like animated movies with arcs. That's a great one. I am torn how much people are actually learning in the Sonic movies.
So I got a side tangent. I do really enjoy the Sonic movies.
Oh, I love the Sonic movies.
But the trope of weaponizing video game mechanics, like every video game adaptation except Mario, which is kind of why I like it. That's the plot. Oh, there's a video game where power-ups happen, where the military is going to go in and weaponize those power-ups. That's like every video game adaptation ever.
Strong counterpoint for Sonic, because you still haven't paid through the gems that are Sonic 1 and 2. In Sonic, that's canon. Like, literally, the plot of Sonic Adventure 2 is the U.S. military trying to steal the Chaos Emeralds and hiring Dr. Robotnik's insane grandfather to clone them a weapon to use it. Like, that's like... They adapted the source material, and they let both Robotniks exist simultaneously instead of one just being in a straitjacket reading their manifesto post-mortem. But, like, a lot of the, like... how can I put it this way? It's not tropey if it's supposed to be there. Because tropes are tropes for a reason.
Maybe that's why the Sonic movies are actually decent adaptations.
Well,
Uh,
like, the portal rings are kind of weird, because it's like, yeah, there was rings at the end of stages that warped you places, but the regular rings weren't teleporty rings.
mm-hmm.
So that one was like, they did the best they could. But yeah, collecting the Chaos Emeralds to turn into Supersonic to Laser Beam Eggman is, like, literally the plot. Like, yes, that is what happens. Yes, the US government did put an evil Sonic clone in a basement to use as a super weapon. Having him run in circles to power up the Death Laser was weird, though, because the Death Laser is just supposed to be powered up by the Chaos Emerald. I don't know why they did that. But the point is, they got the vibes right. But I think Sonic, they're trying to do the coming of age story, and they're splitting it across the arcs where every movie he comes like a little further into adulthood. Instead of starting with a fully matured Sonic, I think was the move.
Right.
Because the first movie, he just wants to be loved desperately and is not avoiding the call to action, but avoiding, like, life. Like, he's, like, running from his problems quite literally. And then the second movie, he's like, okay, now that there's a younger person with me, I need to step up and kind of be the more mature person because I have this Tails idiot with me. And then Knuckles is like, reminds me of how bitter I was in the first movie, so I'll try and befriend him. And the third movie's like, you killed my dad, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then he's like all three of them, he's kind of growing as a character, which by making the character deliberately childish, you can get away with that. And then Knuckles is perfect.
Fair enough.
Knuckles is not a static character. He is arcing hard. He's like, I'm a brave warrior, but I need to learn how to be softer and gentler despite having fists for hands that literally can't hold things. And then he's trying to talk other people, like, you need to be a braver warrior, bullying dude. And he's like, I do, Knuckles. I do need to be a brave warrior.
Oh, man. The first half of the Knuckles show was so bad, but the second half made up for it in spades.
The first half had to be so bad for the second half to be so good. I love the entire thing, for the record.
The first half was very amusing, but it was so... and just...
You had to let it play out, man. You had to give him a chance to get there. Also, I respect a 6-episode miniseries just being done, and it's like, yes, we did this tie-in miniseries, so that way we could sell a DVD labeled Sonic 3 and Knuckles. We did it. We did the entire objective. That was the objective, by the way, so you could then sell a DVD case that said Sonic 3 and Knuckles on it.
That's hilarious.
Like, they win. That was the game set match.
Mm-hmm.
Although it is funny that they put Knuckles in the second movie when he shows up and says, whatever, I'm just being pedantic. And then Sonic 4 is setting itself up to be a dope time travel story, and I'm all for it. Which is also canon from the source material. But yeah, like, I'm not saying the character arcs are good in Sonic, I'm saying they're there.
True.
Also, Robotnik goes through a full Walter White Breaking Bad character arc. While also going through an unrelated romance movie that slow burns over 3 movies. He literally dies proclaiming his love to Agent Stone. Like, so good. Don't even. He's just like, I hate everyone and everything, and I just went from being a government employee to an actual supervillain. But also have finally come to terms with my emotions. It's such a weird parallel. Like, think about how beautiful that character arc is of someone going full Walter White while simultaneously learning to love the people around them.
Yeah, and that had so much emotional weight. Like I said, it was spread out over 3 movies.
Right? Like, I do think it wasn't planned on the first movie, and they saw the fanfics, they're like, you know what we can do?
Robotnik and Stone.
It's like the second movie, they leaned into it hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third movie, it's like, add payoff. I did not think there'd be payoff.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that is the thing he talks about during his final moments, which I don't believe for a second. But the fact that that's what he talked about during his possible final moments. Also, I do believe there's
Oh.
a non-zero chance that if Jim Carrey doesn't come back, Agent Stone's gonna put on the fat suit and just be the new Robotnik to honor his lost love.
Mm. Yeah, that's fair. Because I mean, Jim Carrey is getting pretty. Well, a lot of actors are getting pretty old. Actually, it's kind of surprising. Like Liam Neeson in The Naked Gun. Uh, Firstly, that he's like actually like 71 is like I did not realize Liam Neeson was that old. But secondly, I mean, I don't know if you'd really call it a character arc since it's a parody movie, but he does learn stuff.
You can have a character arc in a parody. Shrek is one of the most best examples of all time for body positivity.
Fair. But yeah, unrelated tangent about actors getting old, but it's just like some actors I don't realize how old they are. And it's like, wait, they could like die tomorrow.
Well, so could I, theoretically.
Well, that's true.
Like, being old doesn't just give you immortality, so you have it the whole time.
Yeah, well, I mean, no one saw the death of Chuck Norris coming. R.I.P. Chuck Norris.
Yeah, he did die.
Although
just
supposedly he just beat up death and took his job. So.
Well, while we're talking character arcs, though, did Forrest Gump learn anything? Is he a different character by the end of the movie, or is it literally just everyone that runs into him?
Not. Forrest Gump is definitely a super flat character. But that's like the point of the movie, is that it's like walking through American history and watching America grow and learn around him. But yeah, Forrest Gump is almost supposed to be like he's not exactly a self-insert character, but he's supposed to be just bland and there for everything, but not really. Like he doesn't, his actions and choices don't really drive the story.
Here's one for you. What would you say Truman's character arc was in The Truman Show?
In The Truman Show?
Because he was not a flat character. He reacts. He starts flat, as you said earlier, like, can a character start flat and then go somewhere? I'm like, no, the point of The Truman Show is people are filming him and he's consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets aware that reality is fake.
Well,
I wonder if it's closer to Payne's arc, where like he starts optimistic and then becomes deeply disillusioned and then ends up optimistic at the end.
I would definitely say that that's a way to simplify it down into one sentence. But I mean, there's also this aspect of overcoming fear and taking control of your life. Like that's kind of a character arc in its own, where overcoming fear and taking control of your situation, where a lot of people just let fear or other circumstances around them dictate their actions, and the idea is that you have to learn how to control your fear and choose your own path.
That is very reasonable. And then, yeah, like, Vegeta gets an obvious redemption arc, and then...
Although the end of his arc is basically in the Buu Saga, where he blows himself up.
Oh yeah, Vegeta's arc, absolutely. For him to do, like, the full redemption arc, Vegeta justifies the existence of the Buu Saga.
Mm-hmm.
Gohan does not.
And Gohan was really the main character.
Although Vegeta, to be fair, he had his moment when his baby boy dies and he goes on a rampage and then apologizes to Gohan. So like Vegeta had his arc and then they did it again. But they did it pretty good the second time. The fact that Guts from Berserk is still an optimist at the end of his story, even a little bit, like the fact that he's still trying is truly impressive.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, like we did, like Legend of the Legendary Hero, where the entire series just hated Reiner Lute for no particular reason. Poor Guts, man. Life just hates Guts. How do you feel about Denji's character arcing with our current quote-unquote end of the series? Where he literally learning anything got undone. Or maybe he got to keep his learned experience. It's hard to say if it's the reset Denji. Let's assume the reset Denji has his personality shifts from Chainsaw Man having happened, but doesn't remember that they happened.
It does seem like that's sort of the case because they have like pseudo memories of events and people that happened, but then there's no, that's just craziness. But like,
I still don't believe this, by the way. I think he's going to release a new manga, and then 5 chapters in is going to be Chainsaw Man. We're getting Steel Ball Runned.
Maybe.
I don't trust this bastard.
I'm just saying the end of the public safety arc.
Yeah.
Literally said end of the public safety arc, where this one actually just said the end.
I don't trust it. Don't trust this bastard. Too clean.
But as for where like Denji's growth
or lack thereof, I don't think it's flat though.
Yeah. I don't know that he actually would make any different choices at the beginning, at the end, as they did at the beginning. Though he would just die faster. Like.
I mean, like, he learns that surface level pleasures he thought he wanted won't truly satisfy him.
That's true. And like the Pucci, I'm trying to think of his name right now.
Puccia.
The actual Puccia, yeah, that's the one. Even says like, you're the worst kind of human because you're only happy when you're unhappy.
Yeah, but like,
so
part 1 ended with him rejecting blind dependence on other people, right? Like, he's like, nah, I can't just listen to Makima. Nah, I need to, like, decide what I want for myself.
And then it does kind of get undone by his, by the reset.
Did it, though? Because, like, his interactions with power in the original timeline were, I don't trust you, I don't like you. And then she's like, no, I can win you over. Then he lusts after her. Then he realizes that's a bad idea. And after the reset, immediately just goes for friends. Instantly bros instead. So he does not let his sex drive choose how he interacts with power after the reset, which directly changes the relationship. He might have drank his respect woman juice, resulting in him having a best friend. Is that not how that played out?
To be clear, Denji was always all about consent.
True, but like I do think that like original Genji, first time he met Power, was instant dislike, hatred, then she manipulates him like everyone could easily. And the new version, they're just being bros killing demons and like bantering. Like they went straight to their banter step and skipped the like what he learned through his friendship with her kind of carried over. That's my argument, is Denji actually learned to delayed gratification. Instead of seeking out the thing he wants instantly, he learned to slow roll it at least a little bit. So like, for example, when he saves War Devil in the second version, he just saves her and goes on with his day, which results in her liking him this time. Instead of immediately trying to be like, no, you're with me now.
Fair enough.
So I do think he learned to, like, chill. I do think he came out different at the end, because we literally watch him replay the same scenes.
And make different choices.
Yeah. And the different choices were largely, like, being less desperate, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, he's learned to set his sights higher, too.
Yeah. So I think he went through a character arc. The ending annoys me, but I do think it was a surprisingly good character arc. And even though the ending I don't trust and I don't believe, I will have to say Chainsaw Man was a good piece of media.
I do appreciate that it actually ended, even if the ending was rather abrupt.
I think my problem is, like, conceptually I like the idea that Chainsaw Man that eats things to make them exist will then just make himself not exist. I think I don't like that they didn't establish why that was the mechanic. Why Chainsaw erases things was missing. Or I missed it.
No, I don't think it was in there.
Because, like...
It was just like, and he has the scariest power of them all.
But I do enjoy the, like... consuming yourself so you stop existing to give a reset when, like... I was completely on board with the reset. I was not on board with the reset being 2 chapters and ending. Like, I was completely on board with the reset being the start of Act 3.
Right.
That's where I'm at. It's like, yeah, his power got too wackadoodle, the scaling broke, so he just reset by resetting the reset power to make the non-existent power non-exist, therefore making everything exist. Yeah, I was weirdly on board with that. But, like, let's see. Other character arcs while we're on this topic. So yeah, I stand by my statement that Vader's redemption arc and Anakin's negative arc was not the same Vader, really. Like, they went back in...
It's like a sine curve where, you know, he does his arc up and then he does his arc down and comes back to where he was. But they're not really the same character, just they're following opposite arcs.
Well, not that so much as the time and disconnect and tone of the 2 stories. Like, if you say picture Anakin Skywalker and you say picture Darth Vader, that's just not the same dude.
Fair enough.
Like, they don't feel like a continuous story. And you can do a prequel and then have it feel like a continuous version of a character, but it really didn't have that. Like, all the little quirks and habits and, like, the, like, character choices that made Anakin a character, none of that made it into Vader. Because one was a dramatic little bitch, and the other one was Vader. Like, he literally went from yappy to completely silent. And, like, even, like, the word choice of, like, Anakin wasn't out here going, I hope you don't choke on your aspirations, good doctor. Like, just their vernacular's not even the same.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, like, it doesn't feel like a character who went through 2 arcs. It feels like 2 characters. We had a similar problem with Goku in Dragon Ball Super, where, like, this is a caricature of a character, not actually the same character.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
And again, that's kind of like when you have those long-running series, it is, like you say, it's really hard to keep a consistent character arc while also being fresh and new every season. So It's like once they flatline, then eventually they just become caricatures rather than actual dynamic, interesting characters, and you have to introduce side characters to be able to keep things dynamic and interesting.
Where One Piece had a cheat code where right near the start they're like, I'm going to have every character loudly put their foot on a barrel and say exactly what they're trying to do. So they're literally like, here is what I am trying to do. And we like to talk about the cross-purpose want versus need. But if a character literally just puts their foot on a barrel and yells their want out loud, then us and the viewers can be like, okay, now what needs to happen for them to fill this emotional hole? Like, Zoro's like, I want to be the best swordsman in the world. And it's like, no, you need to get over the death of your childhood friend and carry on their legacy. And they're like, okay, we can watch him moving towards, like, you want to be the best. That means you have to be calmer, more responsible, can't run off like, you can see him learning lessons.
Right.
And you can kind of see all of them learning lessons. I mean, Nami's lesson's pretty basic, where it starts like, I want to draw out the world. Alright, stop being a greedy bitch then. You gotta actually, like, go to the world and see the world. Can't be all about the money, sorry.
Yeah.
But it's funny, because, like, even, like, on a Google search, people be like, oh yeah, Luffy's going through a flat arc. And I'm like, I don't think that's true. I think, he's caring more and more about world politics because he's starting to realize that his goal of making everyone in the world free to eat as much as they want is becoming increasingly complex.
Right.
Even though he's still a YOLO character. I think he's gaining some more understanding as he YOLOs his way through life. At least after his brother dies in front of him.
Poor Ace. One of the only characters to die in the series.
Although, shout out to One Piece for killing people when they die.
How many people have actually died in One Piece?
Like 4.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I guess that's higher than I expected, but also, like...
Otis said, and I quote, "When I kill a character, they're dead. And I'm not gonna kill it. I'm not gonna fake kill a character. When I kill a character, they're dead because we killed them."
Looking at you, JJK.
Yeah, JJK. And then I'm just thinking of things like Assassination Classroom. Would you say Koro Sensei went through an arc? I'm trying to decide. I know all the students did specifically. Most of them, like literally all of them went through the same coming of age arc.
No, I don't really think so. I don't think he necessarily learned to care more for his students or anything. I'm pretty sure he is that static character who is the vessel through which all of the other characters change.
Yeah. Where Nagisa learned it's okay to be a cross-dresser as long as you're a badass. Karma learned he has to occasionally not be a dick so he can conquer the world. Like, every character went through their little... Every one of them went through a classic coming-of-age arc in some way, shape, or form. Which was literally the point of anything with the word classroom on it. You failed your show if it's a classroom show, and your characters don't go through coming-of-age stories. Like, if you didn't Harry Potter or Araby your characters going through these arcs, what was the point? Harry Potter also, every character went through a basic bitch coming-of-age arc. Although Snape's redemption arc is the most bullshit thing I've ever seen. And they've accidentally made it extremely racist in the live-action one that Warner Bros. And Prime's doing. So, Snape's redemption arc is, "Oh, I bullied you for the last 10 years, but I secretly loved your mom." That's a bad redemption arc, right?
That is not a very good redemption arc.
But in the original version, it's like, oh yeah, Snape was bullied relentlessly by Harry Potter's dad and friends. And they bullied him because he was like a weird loner, etc., etc. They've recast Snape as the only black man at Hogwarts.
The only black man at Hogwarts?
And it changes everything.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely heard I didn't realize he was a token black character. Like, what?
So,
what is the
if you go, oh yeah, my dad bullied this guy because he was weird and different. Takes on a bit of a different meaning in your British boarding school when your pureblood wizards bully this kid for being weird and different and is the only person of color at the school, and then the parents don't want him to be interested in their daughter because he's weird because he's the only person of color at the school. Like, it's the choice.
Yeah.
And it's like, why is Snape so mean to us? And I'm like, well, it used to be he's so mean to you because he was a wizard Nazi trying to reform being a double agent. Now it's because he faced systemic racism for the last 50 years. Blatantly.
Oh.
That's unintentionally hilarious. I mean, I refuse to watch it because I don't want to give the transphobic wizard money. And also, I watched a full video on it. The Second Wind channel does really good deep dives into games and movies and things. And they're talking about good adaptations versus bad.
Okay.
And the thing is, you can do a good adaptation of a story that's already done before. But one of the best ways to do it is through art direction, structure, and like creative vision. Like, let's use Hamlet, for example. So in Hamlet, we've had so many versions of Hamlet. But each one of them will choose different costumes, set design. Well, actually, Romeo and Juliet's a better example. Have you seen the Romeo and Juliet one that happens in Gangland, Chicago?
Yeah, when you said Hamlet, I thought you were going to talk about The Lion King as a good adaptation of
Yes,
Hamlet,
though. Like, objectively, that's true. Because you're telling the same basic story, but you've changed so much of it, it's interesting.
As for the answer to your question, yes, I have. And when he's like, "Get me my sword," and
And
then
it's
it's just a shotgun
I
with the
love
word
that scene
sword.
with my entire heart. And it says sword as like the brand name on the shotgun. So you could definitely take a source text. Like Frankenstein, there's so many versions of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can absolutely take a source text, and you're not even changing a single line of dialogue, but through camera work, addressing, motion, acting choices, make an interesting, compelling story.
Right.
But, like, every character looks the same for Harry Potter, they're just making it longer. Like, they're using the same aesthetic, the same artwork, the same, like, different actors, but, like, trying as close as they could to just match what happened before.
Right.
Which is terrible and boring.
They're trying to more closely adapt the books, I guess.
Yeah, but you can still do that with Vision. Like, no, they're really trying to sequel. Like, the video made a strong point of it. They're not trying to adapt it to be more faithful. They're trying to adapt it to trigger your nostalgia, to have people who watch the movies then watch the show by making it comforting and familiar. Because you can absolutely, like, the books aren't precise enough, especially Harry Potter, to tell you what every character's wearing in every scene, or the lighting, or the mood, or the candle. Like, some details are in the book, and a lot were in the movie that they've just kept. Like the score, for example. Books don't have scores.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. They could have written a new score to change the mood of the series.
Like, one of my favorite examples is the pilot of Supernatural had a lot of 2000s music. Like, it had a lot of, like, Eminem and shit.
Yeah.
And then episode 1, they're like, no, we're going 60s rock. And we're opening with Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas. And the entire vibes of that show changed completely based on the era of rock music. Because they went rock instead of going, like, R&B and rap and more modern genres. And that changes the entire show.
Yeah.
So, like...
a long time ago, there's a website called OC Remix, and they, as the title suggests, they do remixes of music, but mostly it's video game music.
I love OC Remix. Not a sponsor, just a fan.
And I downloaded a song. It was Kefka versus Koopa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the song. But I went walking outside, and I was listening to the song through headphones, and it's like a dark, spooky castle kind of end boss kind of apocalyptic music, basically. And the music almost made me feel paranoid. Like I felt noticeably like brighter and happier when I took my headphones off. I was like, yeah, the sun is actually shining. I'm not gonna like get jumped by someone. But when I had my headphones on, I was like, oh, everything's kind of like dark and scary. So it's like the score, like I say, with the Mario movie, a really, really good score can really elevate a movie, although it doesn't fix all of the problems.
No, absolutely not. But, like, my point is that, like, you can take something. How can I put this? I don't dislike tropes. I dislike copy pasting. So it's like, I always dunk on JJK because it's the exact plot of Bleach with the main character of Naruto. But I don't dislike those tropes. If I did, I wouldn't be reading this magazine weekly. I dislike how they don't do anything fun with it. So, let's put some light on Kagurabanchi, because it's awesome.
It is awesome.
I think every character in that is working through something. I think the main character's arc is literally learning to feel again.
Well, I kind of appreciate that we're starting to get more of Teleporty Man's backstory.
Right? Because the show needed a second character that I cared about. No offense, like, they gave me a bunch of caricatures that were interesting, but didn't quite get around to fleshing them out as characters yet. Which is fine, because, like, you want to establish your universe, your setting, your characters to start with.
Right.
Although, I will say, Bleach early on, I struggled with this too. So, being so white that moonlight can give me a sunburn. I am not good when every character has a 2-word, full-length, traditional Japanese name without giving me a nickname or an anchor point.
Right. To the point where all the captains had nicknames. You know, Captain I'm Better Than You, Captain Tuberculosis, Captain Hippie.
Right, and the thing is, like, I got used to their names now, having went through the manga, the series, the sequel, the series. Like, I'm good now, but, like, Kagurabachi, I don't know no one's name. It's not like they're yelling out their names, too. Like, One Piece, half of the runtime is characters yelling out other characters' names dramatically.
Okay.
Well, they gave them all, like,
right.
well, first off, they're all, like, monosyllabic names, or, like, they'll have 1 or 2 syllables at most, right?
Mm.
They'll give every character a nickname, and they'll repeatedly yell them.
Mm.
Like Zoro, named after the famous swordsman Zoro. As a character's just yelling Zoro, at least once a chapter. Pirate Hunter Zoro, world's best swordsman Zoro. Zoro the bounty hunter Zoro. This is Zoro the bounty hunter Zoro. Here's Zoro's wanted poster. I'm like, I think this guy's name is Zoro. Cat burglar Nami. Nami wants to be a navigator. Nami the navigator. It alliterates.
Mm.
Actually, poor Usopp is such a clever name because it was literally just Aesop's fables because he lies all the time. Like, that's good, right?
Right.
Like, that is objectively clever.
But back to Kagurabachi.
Yeah.
This flashback arc is nice that is going to help develop. Well, firstly, it sets the groundwork for what we've already seen, and secondly, it's going to help develop characters that's like we know who they are, but we're going to have a deeper understanding of their motivations.
Man, I love a good flashback arc when handled well.
Mm.
Like, Bleach's was good, but they forgot to give us character depth. Naruto's was great. Kakashi's flashback arc was delightful.
Oh yeah, it definitely like reframed Kakashi's character so completely that he almost became a main character.
He did become a main character. Like, he was like basically a tritagonist at that point. I think Kakashi got more screen time and dialogue than Sasuke. And Sasuke got more than Naruto. Am I wrong? Obito was the main villain. So. Who fought Obito? Like, Obito was the main villain. Who fought Obito? Kakashi.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man. Also, One Piece is just better in its flashbacks and side stories than it actually is in its plot. One Piece is like a super interesting manga hidden within a longer, less interesting manga.
Yeah.
They're like, do you want to watch Gold Roger and Garp team up during the government mandated slave hunt in God Island? I'm like, yes, I want to watch that. Cool, we'll give you one piece of it at a time over 8 years. But like, yes, I want to see that. Show me that. Like, nah, we're good. Do you want to watch this person slowly be turned into a robot to save his sick daughter? What is this better manga you're showing me? They're like, do you care about the Revolutionary Army setting up a blockade to get food-starve the fat people living on the top of the world in order to force them to have to leave their castle? I'm like, yes! Yes, I want to watch that! It's like, too bad. You get to watch Luffy fight Kaido on a roof for 40 episodes. I'm like, but cooler things are happening!
Yeah, but I mean, like, you have to have the longest anime fight in history.
Ugh. It wasn't a good enough fight to justify it. Like, the fight didn't have enough twists and turns, and like Goku versus Frieza at the very least was a dynamic fight. Like, it kept shifting every. Like, I'm actually ride or die defend the 48 episode Tournament of Power, literally being each minute of this fucking tournament is an entire episode. I was ride or die for that. That was great. Don't do it twice, but you can sell me on, like, as someone who watches Record of Ragnarok, where every fight is about 5 episodes long of just a single 2-person fight because we tell them their entire fake Wikipedia page. I love it. I'm ride or die on longest anime fight of all time. I love slow pacing, but it got to be worth it. I gotta care about the two people in this fight.
Yeah.
And I did not care about Kaido. I cared about Frieza.
It's funny because like I don't actually know anything about Kaido. I just know it's the longest anime fight in history.
That's kind of my entire point.
Like, yeah, that obviously means that character was not given any sort of arc.
Well, what's funny about Frieza, and this is going to be a hot take, Frieza's arc on Namek was fascinating because everything Frieza did got defeated because he was a cocky shit as Frieza's life slowly unraveled in front of him. Like, Frieza's like, oh, you killed my troops, my best friends, my scouter, you blew up my thing, you took away my immortality. Like, you just watch Frieza never lost a fight, but kept losing the war repeatedly. And by the time Goku's fighting Frieza, you're like, oh man, Goku has it coming. Oof. Because you're like, oh.
So yeah, you can give your villain an arc without having them to be like change in any positive way. Like,
well, I'm just saying, let's switch it and say Frieza was the protagonist. We watch Frieza show up to this planet, gets jumped by like 30 different people, and like in the Dragon Ball Z games where you play the Namek saga from Frieza's point of view, you're like, oh, this small child and this bald man defeated my plans. Oh, Vegeta came back. Vegeta is stronger now. He killed my lieutenant. Oh, Zarbon's dead. Oh, Dodoria's dead. Better call the Ginyus. Oh, the Ginyus are all dead. Hey, I found a Namek. Oh, he tricked me. Oh, this other one tricked me. Oh, they stole my wish. Okay, I killed the first three. Oh, this guy's back. Oh, I killed him. Oh, these three are back. Oh, they dropped a sun on me. Like, that fight, from Frieza's point of view, is such a bitch of a fight. Because every time you knock someone down, two more take their place from nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, oh man. Frieza's fully justified, man. The end of the Namek arc for me. Like, I'm gonna find your planet and blow it the fuck up. Dude's entire Roman Empire burned on the hands of two children and a green dude.
Yeah, and then Goku shows up to save the day out of nowhere, and he's like, who the heck is this guy? Oh, he's the legendary Super Saiyan. Dang it.
That's the funniest part, is Vegeta being like, you can't defeat me, I'm the Super Saiyan. I'm like, that is some stupid bullshit, and you're some stupid bullshit. Like, the Dragon Ball Z Abridged version 2 is like, there's no fucking way this is actually happening right now. Absolutely not. But yeah, so any other interesting character arcs come to mind?
No, I think I've gone over them all. Like we talked a fair bit.
Way to cover all of fiction.
Well, yeah, but I mean all the interesting ones that come to mind. Like I say, you know.
All right, let's do a bit of a lightning round thing. We're gonna do a lightning round where I'm gonna tell you the type of arc, and you're gonna give me an example of a good one and a bad one.
Oh.
Alright, so...
I'm not good at lightning round, but we'll see how this goes.
First up, the positive change arc.
The positive change arc.
A character grows internally.
Oh man, I'm really bad at lightning rounds.
Get better.
Get better, Scrub.
I'm gonna give you the most basic one of all time. Scrooge.
Okay. Scrooge. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a pretty good positive change arc.
The positive change arc.
But as a bad positive change arc?
Yeah, one where they try to do it and you're just like, no.
I'm trying to think where.
Like something where they're trying to sell you on this character's getting better and you're like, no.
Well, I mean, what I'm thinking about, what I'm trying to think, I know there's examples, like I'm bad at these lightning rounds, but it's like the character is just so completely, irredeemably evil, and then they get punched in the face by the good guy, and they're like, oh, I'm a good guy now.
So a good example of a bad one is Endeavor in My Hero Academia was a wife beater, and then ends with like, temporary visits to his family because he was a hero. I'm like, you were a wife beater and practiced eugenics. Fuck you. It's like, but you don't understand. I fought heroically against the villain. I'm like, but your crimes weren't related to that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's definitely a bad positive change arc.
Or any character in one of these I got reincarnated to be a sex offender mangas where they're like, I was bullied and then I came back and now like I'm a good guy because I beat up this woman who was mean to me in a past life who's technically done nothing wrong to me in this one.
Okay. What's our next crime?
No, you never gave me one.
Oh, okay, a bad one. The main character from Solo Leveling, whatever his name is.
Shinwoo?
That's not a good positive change arc.
I think you gave this argument before, and I'm with you. Him trying to like grow up, like his motivation to save his mom, and then becoming more morally gray to achieve it. Like, I don't know, like it almost worked for the first bit, but then dropped the ball.
Well, like I said, I absolutely loved his motivation. Like at the very start, the choice that he makes between going into the dungeon to make more money to potentially save his mom or saving the people that are in front of him ends up just catastrophically backfiring on him, and then he has to spend all this time trying to basically right the wrongs and figure out how to save his mom with the circumstances he's given. But like they try to make it seem like it's a positive change arc, but no, he just becomes blander and less interesting.
I agree. And I already gave my big example of Ichigo doesn't learn shit, even though the series is framing me like he's supposed to be.
Okay. So what's our next one?
Negative change arc. One of the iconic one being Joker, Arthur Fleck from 2019's Joker. Or Michael Corleone in The Godfather, where someone just gets worse over the course of the story. I need a good example and a bad example.
I did not like Sons of Anarchy, but that is a good example of a negative change arc. A lot of people really liked it, where he starts out, he's trying to get out of the biker gang, and then he just falls further and further and further in until he sees no way out besides unaliving himself.
So I'm going to give a hot take here. I really enjoyed the completed Char Aznavour negative change arc.
Okay.
So he starts bullying, planning his revenge, backstabbing, being a bastard. And then you get to Zeta and he's like, you know what? I'm going to try and do this the right way. I'm going to put on new sunglasses. I'm going to try and give speeches at the UN. I'm going to literally try and convince people to save the Earth. Goes through Zeta Gundam and he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to kill the planet. And the idea that his conclusion was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to kill the planet. I'm literally going to buy this with gold, literally war crime Nazi gold, to buy something that they sold me willingly to blow up the planet with. Like, he's just done. Dude was done. He literally sends a psychic message saying, I'm doing something evil to his rival.
So a bad negative change arc?
I think...
I have an example, actually. It immediately comes to mind, Bowser and Mario Galaxy. Because they, like I said, they set it up that Mario was going to learn that no one is irredeemable until Bowser is just irredeemable. And, like, why was, in the context of the series, why did they even bother trying to redeem him if he wasn't going to, like, impact the plot at all? Like, it's just, in the context of the show, it's just like, no, that's terrible.
So
I really didn't like it at all.
What's funny for a failed negative change arc for me is that's a great example. Another approach where they can screw it up is when they try and give a character a negative change arc that's actually right, but the story's propaganda disagrees with you.
Oh?
So, like, let's take Magneto. Magneto's a villain who's objectively correct. So to, like, watch him descend to madness and be an awful person, you're like, actually, though. Like, so whenever you, like, make a character be like, watch them become the villain, you're like, no, they're right, though. Like, I'm trying to think of other examples, but it's like, the writer will be like, this villain, like, let's take Omni-Man. They're like, look, Omni-Man's a terrible person. We're going to give him a redemption arc. And people are like, nah, he's sexy. It's fine. So it's definitely, there's times where the writer's like, no, this is a bad person being bad. And you're like, I'm not entirely sure. I just, like, Doctor Doom does that all the time where they're like, though, like, he did solve the crime rate problem. Like, a lot of propaganda shows and things will do that too, where they'll be like, no, this villain that you're setting up as the villain means for him to be the villain, the U.S. Police Department has to be the good guy, so I don't know, though.
Or, like, Supergirl. There's the season with the where the Supergirl has a fight and blows up someone's house, and then the insurance company won't cover it because it was superhero damage, not like an act of God or whatever. And so his life is completely ruined by these superheroes and their reckless abandon and lack of regulation. And it's like, well, he's kind of right. Like, insurance companies and stuff using this advantage to destroy people's lives. Like, these heroes are causing a lot of damage with no repercussions.
I'm gonna say the line that gets our podcast canceled forever. The negative change arc is the media was trying to convince us against Luigi Mangione while showing him like close-ups of him being hot and shirtless. Like, they're like, look at this domestic terrorist, this cannot happen. And I'm like, you just said you're going to wipe a civilization off the face of the earth. I'm sorry, but like, the guy he shot killed more people than Luigi did. Like, what are we talking about here? No, we're not taking Big Pharma's side. Fuck off. Note, viewers, comedy podcasts don't take what we say seriously. Nor do I think Luigi should be freed because he did commit murder. I'm just saying that I'm not buying that he was a particularly bad person from the narrative they're spinning. They're doing a pretty bad job of their jobs. They're like, we pronounced this man guilty before trial. I'm like, isn't that a mistrial? On the grounds that you went on TV and said he was guilty? Alright.
Anyways, what's our next lightning round?
Good flat arc versus bad flat arc.
A good flat arc versus bad flat arc. Well, like I said, a good flat arc is when they actually inspire the people around them to change. So I mean, Saitama is obviously, I mean, you already mentioned that, but that's definitely a very good flat arc. At least for the first portion where Saitama was actually allowed to be in the show. Mm-hmm. But I think Saitama's actually simultaneously both.
Yeah, that I agree strongly. You know what? One of my favorite.
He's very. Sorry, the Saitama very clearly inspires people around him to change, but then he just kind of like stops actually having any impact on the show because people have already started changing, and the other characters around him actually kind of stop really being dynamic as well. Like,
yeah, it just didn't have that much series in it.
Yeah.
And I'll say, Superman, when done correctly, is supposed to be a flat arc character. But writers don't want to do that. So, like, the most recent Superman movie where he's like, sometimes the most punk thing you could be is a good person. That was actually a flat arc Superman. Because he's like, no, he doesn't need to change. But then, like, Zack Snyder's like, no, he needs to, like, beat up people and be sad and have closed sex in a bathtub. And I'm like, you guys aren't getting it. The idea of being a symbol for hope is you're a symbol for hope.
Right.
And Batman's also, like, they keep trying to flat arc Batman so he learns nothing, and weirdly enough, that just turns him into a sociopath.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright. And then our second last category is the disillusionment arc, where you start optimistic, become nihilistic, and then become optimistic again at the end.
I don't know. Start optimistic, become nihilistic, become optimistic.
Which is kind of almost every Marvel villain now, because no one's allowed to be evil. Like, it pisses me off so much, and like, D&D has this problem. People are like, no, it can't just be an evil monster. We need to give this dragon a full disillusionment arc and have it come back around at the end. I'm like, fuck off.
Well, I don't necessarily know that it's a good example, but Rey from the Star Wars movies, from the third trilogy.
That's a great example.
I don't know if it's a bad example or a good example, but it definitely is an example of how she, starts up optimistic, goes on her adventure. The second movie, she basically does become evil and accidentally almost kills Chewbacca, and then by the end learns to grapple with the dark emotions that the dark side of the Force enhance and redeems herself to become the hero of the series.
So I'm going to say the good version of that is when Luke did that exact thing.
Yeah, I guess. Luke over the course of the 3 movies.
And then, like I said, Bleach felt like it was doing that, but didn't do it. Like, didn't. They tried to do it, they didn't really pull it off. And then the final category is the redemption arc. Where
a good redemption.
Where you start bad and then go good. Which is, like I said, every fucking villain now. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, Killmonger better have a redemption arc. I'm like, a dude named Killmonger does not need a redemption arc. That's not, he's already cool. Like, stop it.
When you said Killmonger, I thought Kilgrave. I was like, Kilgrave didn't have a redemption arc.
No, Kilgrave sucked and continued to suck. Which is objectively better.
But redemption arc. I'm really bad at these lightning rounds. I'm like, jeez.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Well, see, I get very fixated on the things that I've seen recently, and it's like, yeah, I haven't really seen that many things that even have redemption arcs. Like, yeah, I can't. I guess the redemption arc doesn't have to be the main character that goes through.
Oh, absolutely not.
In fact, it's usually not the main character who goes through the redemption arc.
I mean, Boromir goes by so fast in the movies. Like, it's almost a bad example.
That's true. That's true. A villain isn't exactly the right word either. Like, antagonist is more of a better, because it's like they. I don't know.
It's funny because it's like, you could say something like Athrin Zala and Gundam Seed goes through a redemption arc, but like, I don't actually think Zaf was wrong. Like, technically, he's just a war criminal. Just stole a military weapon, abandoned his squad, abandoned his country. His actions directly resulted in nuclear warheads heading towards his country. But the theme music told me he was a good guy.
So that's a bad redemption arc?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dude was just a war criminal, and it's like, well, my best friend I knew from childhood said, the guys I'm fighting for are wrong, so you're gonna stand up to your superiors? No, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna take a nuclear-powered death robot and leave. To go hang out with my best friend and my ex-girlfriend.
Right.
Lelouch had a great redemption arc, though, as he literally sets up his own assassination. Because Lelouch was just a piece of shit at the start of his show. He was just like, no, I'm just actually a terrorist who wants to murder my family because they suck. And he's like, maybe I should probably make the world a better place. I know, the best way to make the world a better place is to just not be in it anymore.
Well, okay, so, I mean, there are certainly examples of characters that want to, like, atone for their previous actions. So do you think that kind of makes a redemption arc?
It's
desire to atone?
The desire to atone has to be mixed with trying to change the part that made them a bastard in the first place. Like, if you just try and make up for something bad you did, you also have to, like, fundamentally understand what it was that was making you bad. Because it's like, a bad redemption arc is, I murder puppies, but I decide not to murder puppies anymore. Where a better redemption arc is, I murder puppies because XYZ reason, and now I've saved the puppies by sacrificing myself to be eaten by dogs. I don't know. So it's like they've undid their crime in the process of learning what the crime was.
I don't know why I'm having a really hard time thinking of redemption arcs right now.
Can't think of any times a bad guy became a good guy in media. I feel like that happens a fair bit.
Well, not no. See, I know it happens a fair bit, but it's like most of the time it's like, okay, so like Piccolo is a great redemption arc,
Yeah.
and Vegeta's a pretty good redemption arc. But then a lot of those,
Yamcha was not.
Does the monster within count as a redemption arc?
Kinda. Are you gonna say Kurama?
Well, yeah, Kurama is a pretty good redemption arc for sure.
I'll allow it. I will absolutely allow that one. And what's a bad redemption arc where like, yeah, this person's redeemed, and you're like, no. Absolutely not. And the show's like, but they're a good guy now, and you're like, no.
So now I gotta think again about. Well, yeah, I gotta think about what shows I've actually watched that stuck with me long enough to be like. Because you see, if it's a bad redemption arc, unless I really, really like the show and got ruined by the redemption arc, which doesn't happen that often.
Man, Greed had a great redemption arc.
Yeah, I agree. Full Metal Alchemist.
Amazing redemption arc. Let's see.
Let's
see.
Well, let's see what's most popular animes. I probably actually.
I think the main character of Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer kind of redemption arced. Because he definitely went from I'm a selfish piece of crap to I need to beat up all of my friends to then beat up my love interest because my love interest is wrong. And I had to change my views midway through. Is it me? Am I a bad redemption arc because I haven't learned or grown as a person at all?
Nah. I wouldn't say you're a bad redemption arc. You're not a villain or an antagonist, even. At least not to me, anyways. You are an antagonist to some people, though.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a menace. I just go into class and be like, hey, did you guys do the readings now? Oh, man. Sasuke Uchiha's pretty terrible, honestly.
The characters in Dr. Stone, like the first antagonist, I don't even remember his name, but he kind of becomes like one of their like strong muscle guys for the crew. But I don't think he really redeemed himself.
No, he's just like, well, you guys have guns now, so I guess I have to be a good... Oh, I know the one that pisses me off the most. Orochimaru running a childcare home. They just gave Orochimaru and Kabuto an orphanage.
But hey, what is the name of that character from Dr. Stone? Because, well, I guess I don't remember any of the characters from Dr.
But yeah, like, Punchy McFace is just like, well, I guess I just have to be a good guy now because I lost. I'm like, what?
Because the main character is incredibly smart, and then he hires the guy who just has incredible endurance to get stuff done. Or revives the guy that has incredible endurance to get stuff done because they're friends. And then they revive the guy that's really strong and good at fighting. And he's just like, I'm going to be a villain because I think that strength is the only thing that matters, and strength is better than technology.
Which is a really stupid take because toilet paper.
and then, yeah, technology gets good enough. He's like, okay, I guess my strength didn't mean anything, so I'm a good guy now.
Oh, and Kylo Ren.
Oh yeah, Kylo Ren.
They just redeemed him out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He kissed the girl and was good again. And then they redeemed Bucky Barnes off screen.
Yeah, I guess they kind of did do that. That's a pretty bad redemption arc because it didn't happen on screen.
Also, every Spider-Man villain just got to be a good guy at the end.
Really?
Kinda. At the end of No Way Home, they're like, oh, let's redeem every one of them.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
That's
Norman
fair.
Osborn wasn't running big pharma and war crimes before he became Green Goblin. That one breaks me. They're like, you saved me from my goblin madness. The thing that gave you goblin madness was you were a greedy prick. You didn't just get goblin madness. You're like, you know what's a good idea? Captain America super soldiers and murder gliders to sell to terrorists in Iran. Like, no. None of that. Alright, so for a random question of the day.
Okay.
What's something that feels important now, but probably won't matter in 10 years?
Something that feels important now, but probably won't matter in 10 years. Hmm.
I know one for me. Dunking on Pokemon Champions. Just hating on any video game I hate on in general will simply not matter in 10 years.
Hmm.
Also, Slay the Spire 2 won't matter in 10 years. It's unfortunate.
Ooh.
I like Slay the Spire. Oh, did you know Slay the Spire 2 came out and has co-op?
No, I did not.
It's awesome. But please, continue.
Hmm.
Oh, here's another one. JD Vance.
Well, yeah. There's a pretty good chance that a lot of things won't matter in 10 years.
Well, what's funny is, like, all these Trump cabinet members, because, like, the media and things, are making it sound like Pam Bondi's super important. In 10 years, no one's going to remember her name. Because I can't remember who the Attorney General was during the Bush administration. Or the Obama administration. Those aren't information I'm going to keep. Like, let's take Pierre Poilievre, for example. I'm not going to remember who was the head of the Conservative Party when they weren't in power.
What seems super important right now probably won't matter in 10 years.
Oh, trans people in sports. It's not important now, but it feels important now. And then people are going to remember that accounts for such a small percentage of the population. They'll have to be like, remember sports before we had to live in dome cities because we never fought global warming.
Too busy worried about trans people in sports.
Too busy worried about trans people in sports. Just let them play the sports. Especially when it's like, oh man, the genetic advantage you get for being in high school football. I'm like, people get early puberty. Like, it's like, oh, in middle school, imagine if a woman competed in a man's sport. I'm like, what if someone just gets a growth spurt and is 6 feet tall? Like, what are we talking? The people aren't even grown yet. What are we talking about? Gotta respect the purity of co-ed soccer. Fuck off. Why don't we make sure we give them sports equipment first? Like, they can't even play sports because we got funding. Magic the Gathering. They're doomed.
Well, it doesn't even feel that important right now.
Fair.
But they are doomed.
Don't say your wedding. That's a bad choice. You taught people how to make video clips from this.
No.
Because that feels super important and will matter to you in 10 years.
It will. I was gonna try and do something about like online shopping and malls closing.
Oh yeah, malls won't matter in 10 years. Just they'll still be. They'll either be there or they won't.
But it does feel like brick and mortar stores closing is like, you know, becoming an important issue now. But in 10 years, it's like, yeah.
I'm hoping the Strait of Hormuz won't matter in 10 years. Great.
Yeah.
And then we have one other question.
Okay.
What's
Hopefully
something that people overcomplicate that should be simple?
What's something that people overcomplicate that should be simple?
I mean, I have a really petty answer right now.
Well, I mean,
get fucking assignments on time. People will be like, "Oh, I need a time extension because just no, just do it." Ugh, it's not that hard. You just write the paper and hand it in. Fuck.
I'm also going to be petty, and that is pizza orders.
Yep.
Just
100% agree.
So,
Food orders, I'm changing my vote.
food orders in general.
I'm going to say
Fair enough.
Richard and Carl presents Deep Space and Dragons as normally a comedy, but what we're about to say is 100% factual, accurate information. Do not overcomplicate food orders. Pick something on the menu, eat it.
And if you don't like what's on the menu, order somewhere else.
Like, oh, my biggest this is another like microcosm of that. So I'll say to like the office, hey, I'm swinging by Tim's. Anyone want anything? But now I say, I'm swinging by Tim's. Anyone want anything? You get 3 words. Because some fucker will be like, oh, I want a churro ice cap with 2 shots of espresso and less sweetener. I'll be like, fuck off. You get 1 cent. Like, that's too many words. Or it's like, oh, I want 3 Splenda and 1 sugar because I want to. Shut up. Your options are black with cream or with cream and sugar. And your options for drink are coffee. Or this one person in my class was like, I placed a mobile order at Tim's. Can you go pick it up for me? I'm like, never. What? Why would I do that? No. Go get your own order.
Really?
Not related to the issue, just bugged me. The idea that you would turn to someone and be like, well, since you're getting a coffee, can you pick up my mobile order? No! Absolutely not. You can come with me. I would sooner buy someone a coffee than go delivery boy it for them. I don't know, it just felt like stupid. Angered me.
But yeah, food orders is definitely my answer.
If it was up to me, Tim Hortons would only have 3 items left on the menu when I was done with it. Ugh. And people being able to type whatever bullshit they want in the little text boxes on apps is not helping.
No, it is not.
Can I
had
get
a guy the other day at work. They ordered an extra large pizza, and they wanted it cut into 5.
Why? No! You told them no, right?
What?
And told them to go to hell?
Well, the person who took the order, I was like, hey, what is this? We can't do it.
Because
It's
math.
not that we can't, like, you could do it. It's just tedious and difficult. Like, we're just not going to do it. We're not going to give that person the illusion that is something we could do on a regular basis, because we don't. You cut things in half and in half and in half again. You can't get an odd number of slices.
That is so dumb. I love how this made it into our recording, that someone ordered a pizza cut into 5. It's just not okay behavior.
No, it's not. Get out of town.
I want you to know, my roommate in the background is just kind of miming, like, how would you even do that?
You have to start from the center and then cut each of your slices individually.
Do you have a protractor to help with the angles? Because this is just a recipe for failure.
No, those pieces are not going to be even.
I don't even know if they literally can be. Like, 360 doesn't really divide by 5 very nicely. Like, how many places of pie can you calculate off the top of your head to cut these pizza slices?
Oh.
So, thank you everyone for
that's
tuning
my
in.
petty answer.
And thank you all for tuning in to Deep Space and Dragons. The only thing you need to take away from today is to not order pizza cut into 5. Just don't. We don't need you on this. Like, unsubscribe if you're going to order it that way. We don't need your business. If you're ordering pizza cut into 5, don't buy my book. Don't download my itch.io. Don't watch our Daggerheart podcast. We don't need you.
Well, they're probably going to order your book in 5 pages. So that's 5 giant pages.
They're one of those people who cut the book in half for easier transportation horizontally. And they'll be like, hey, can I have this translate to Pig Latin for me? I read that better. Like, people just need to stop.
Thanks for listening and supporting us.
Unless you
make
do
sure
this
you take care of
bullshit.
yourself.
Unless you do this bullshit, then don't take care of yourself. We don't love you. Don't support us. Oh, no. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, it shouldn't be the funniest thing in the world, but it's so bad. Oh, no. I need that in 5 even slices. How about we cut it into 12 and then you give each. No. Oh, okay.
Like 6. We could do 6.
3 each? No.